Hey, Tabin, you remember that AD episode from a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah, with even with all that drinking, I felt freaking great the next day. No hangover, nothing. And you know why?
I mean, I have no idea what those things are, but I do want to know why.
Well, because I took Broad electrolyte vitamins. They're like super Gatorade in a vitamin. Anyway, I felt so great the next day that I emailed them and I said to them, hey man, great product. And you know what? The CEO emails me back to say, thanks.
Oh, nice.
Love to hear from fans. What are you guys up to? And bam, just like that, Broad electrolyte vitamins becomes a supporter of this show.
Wow.
I know.
That's pretty great. Thank you, Broad.
Thank you, Broad. I mean, who likes being hungover or dehydrated? So guess what? We've got a special deal for all our listeners. Go to Broad Electrolyte Vitamins website at broad.co. That's BRODE.co. There's no M. And use the code BFFT at checkout to get 25% off your order with no limit to your order size. The more you order, the more you save. And on top of that, Broad will donate 25% of the proceeds from every order using the code BFFT back to the show to help support its production. So it's a win-win-win for everyone.
That's awesome.
So that's Broad, BRODE.co.
It really is. I mean, Broad gets stuff. We get things. You first get things. It's kind of great.
And remember, that's BRODE.co and code BFFT at checkout. Hangovers are the worst, and this stuff is the best. So go to Broad.co and use code BFFT. Hey, Tabin, how you doing?
Hey. Well, hole in the ground. Well, I am fine. How are you, Mr. Bear?
I'm not too bad. I was at the beach the other day, and I drove past a stand that said lobster tails $2.
Oh yeah.
So I stopped and I paid my $2, and the guy looked at me and he says, "Once upon a time, there was this lonely lobster."
Oh. Was it worth that $2?
It was a lobster tail. Yeah.
Was it worth it? Was it worth the $2?
It was worth the $2.
Oh,
good story. Good story.
Right,
yeah.
Good story. Nice.
This is Barely Furcasting, featuring Tabin and Injured Nerves audio production. Well, moo, bark, fluff, greetings and salutations to all our listeners in the Podiverse, and welcome once again to our little corner of the internet. I am Barely Normal, a bear to wrong that is not a song.
Not a song?
I'm not a song. And once with again, and as usual, is that puptacular pup, Sir Tabin of Fluffington. How are you, Sir Tabin?
Well,
it rolls off the tongue so well.
It so rolls off the tongue. I thought that last week. Wow, this isn't going to go well. Okay, no, there it is. That's fine. I'm good. I'm good. Standard thing. Just been running around doing this stuff, fluffing the moo, and all these things. How about you, Mr. Barely? How was your week?
Fluffing the moo. Fluffing the moo.
I guess it's been a really special week then.
Apparently, how do you fluff a moo?
I don't know, but I did it. I think actually I might have done it several times. So it was
several times you fluffed your moo. Okay, well, sounds like something personal, but we'll move right along.
We'll move right along on that. Yes,
move right along. I had a good week. It was not too stressful. It went by pretty quick. Okay. I'm going to be headed out to an event up in Olympia here shortly.
Oh, what's up there?
So as our listeners know, we record this ahead of time. So the day that I'm recording this, the next day after I record this, I'm heading up to Olympia. We're going to see a puppet show.
Oh, I'm a pup. Or am I there?
You're a pup. You're not there. It's not a pup show. It's a puppet show.
Puppet.
Yes. It's called a Golden Girls parody, and it's the Golden Girls with puppets.
That sounds like totally something you would go to.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
It was on Broadway for a long time. It travels all across the country.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, they were in Bend yesterday.
Oh, wow. Now they're in Olympia. That's quite a journey for one day.
Well, we'll go up, spend the night. We'll have some dinner and watch the show, and then go for drinks or something afterwards. And then my friend Brendan and I are going to stop in Hood River and pick up all of our wine that we have for the various wineries that we joined when we were in
your last
Hood
trip.
River
I
the
remember
last time.
you talking about that. Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Well, we'll be looking forward to. We'll all be looking forward to hearing how the puppet show went.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I watched some clips on YouTube. It's pretty funny. It's pretty darn funny.
I'll have to watch some clips.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
Yep. Watch the clips, not the clops, but the clips. Clip clops.
Right. The clip clops with the flops and the mops when you're on the lops.
Hops and drops.
And the hops and drops. I don't know.
Well, whatever.
Whatever. I have a few things to say to get off my chest. I know, really, off my fluffy little chest. I mean, some of them are... Anyway, I'll just say them. They're just things that I noted or just came to me or whatever. So, one is, and you know about this, yesterday, well, at the time of the release of this recording, it will have been 8 days ago, but as of today, yesterday was National Puppy Day. Woo!
It was National Puppy Day. Did you get a puppy?
I didn't. I had myself.
You had yourself? All right.
So that
I thought maybe your hubby would have brought you a puppy, but no.
No. Oh, now he's in trouble. He had a chance.
He didn't bring you a puppy.
And I told him it's National Puppy Day. But he just looked at me and said, just post it. Just tweet a picture of yourself or something. So I did, and that's good. Anyway, so that's fun. That's been on my mind just because I wag about that. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering the other day, when two vegans get in an argument, is it still called a beef? I mean, really, is it?
No, it's called a bean.
It's called a bean, right? Look at they're getting into a bean. Oh man.
They're getting into a bean.
The day before that, I had a discussion with a flat earther friend of mine.
A flatlander.
And a flatlander. No, even more, a flat earther.
A flat earther, okay.
And he said he was so convinced in his beliefs, which is, good to have beliefs and everything, but he was so convinced that he said he would walk right to the edge of the earth to prove me wrong. I mean, I'm sure he'll come around. Yeah. And on that, I have another, that's a sciencey type thing. And I have another sciencey type thing. I was just like walking down, I was going on a walk the other day without my leash. I'm a little naughty like that. Sometimes,
I know you get naughty that way, yeah.
I do get naughty, but I was walking by a little boy talking to his dad. And I overheard the little boy say, "Dad, can you tell me what a solar eclipse is?" And the dad said, "No, son." I waited.
Thank God for you waiting, because I was like, oh yeah. Well, I think I heard that same little boy ask his father another question.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He asked his father. He said, "What does gay mean?"
Oh,
and his father says, "Well, it means happy."
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, well, Dad, are you gay?" And Dad says, "No, I'm married."
Yeah. No, I did. I think I saw you post that in the chat the other day.
Did I post that in the chat? No, I didn't. Well, okay. Well, I'm working on my jokes. I'm trying to work on my jokes.
Maybe some for Helsted and you just subconsciously took it.
I stole it. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get my jokes together for
Pride.
Pride.
Nice. Yeah. No,
since I'm going to be emceeing the Pride event, the big stage show at the Pride event here in Salem. So I have to get my Rip Taylor stuff going on. Yay, barely. And come out and see me. And any further wants to come out and hang out in fursuit, come on out and hang out in fursuit that day. It's August 20th at the Salem Riverfront Festival Grounds. So come on out.
In Oregon,
put
not
your fursuit
like
on.
Maine or something.
Right. Salem, Oregon, as my friends in New Jersey, you say all the time. How is life out in Oregon?
I said, I don't know. How's life in... It is still here, Oregon.
It's still here. Yes.
Come on. So I have to ask you, do you know about Mr. Potato? Not Mr. Potato Head. Actually, I think he is Mr. Potato Head, but there's this show. This is a real thing. I'm not like
a real thing. Okay, it's a real thing. All right.
I have to say that sometimes. But I mean, you can YouTube it. There's this show, this little kid show called Peppa Pig. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I've heard of Peppa Pig. Yes.
So on Peppa Pig, and I'm behind the times. I just found out about this like the other day, and apparently there's a Mr. Potato on there.
Okay.
And so by the way, drop in clip from Mr. Potato, the episode Mr. Potato Head Comes to Town.
Please welcome your friend and mine, Mr. Potato.
Wow, that's a big potato.
Where are you going with this?
So not actually very far. It's just something that, well, actually, I'll tell you how this came up. I was watching a clip from Stephen Colbert the other day. He was doing his monologue thing, and at one point, and I totally forget how it came up, but at one point, he made a reference to Peppa Pig and Peppa Potato, Mr. Potato. And then he said something like, to the audience, I forget exactly, something like, Mr. Potato? And the entire audience in unison said, is potato, at the same time. And I was
potato. Huh.
So I was looking for this. This is actually what brought this all up. I was looking for this. Like, I wanted to know this reference about Mr. Potato is potato, or whatever it is. How did everyone know to say is potato? And I could not find it. So, challenge to you, Barely, and Furs. Where does is potato in this scenario come from? Because I want to watch the clip of how everyone knows this is potato. And you can, if you just like YouTube for Stephen Colbert, Mr. Potato, or even just potato is potato, you get the clip of the Stephen Colbert monologue, but I can't find how everyone knows about it is potato. And it's just driving me crazy. Anyway. So I want that's the end of those things I wanted to say. That's been on my mind. Crazier than you are
already? Crazier than you are already? Really?
If that's even possible. It's not.
I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think so.
Well, today's the 2nd of April. Yesterday was April Fool's Day. I hope nobody played a joke on you.
Well,
we have April birthdays coming up. We have a couple. We have me coming up tomorrow, the 3rd of April.
Yay,
is my birthday.
Every first day. Yay. Woo.
Yay, Barely. Happy birthday, Barely. And then Melon is having a birthday this month. Melon is a new subscriber to our podcast chat.
M-E-L-Y-N, by the way.
That's right. M-E-L-Y-N, but it's pronounced Melon. Of course, I tried to pronounce it weirdly the first time. I thought it said Melin, and then they said, like it's Melon.
It's kind of like when first try and pronounce my name. It's just...
Tabian? Is it Tabian? No, it's not Tabian.
Tabian?
Tabian a lot. Tabian? It's Tabian. Yeah, no.
I'm not a turbine. I'm a tie-bine.
A tie-bine. You're buying a tie. Buying a tie. Tie-buying. So
I just tell him, no. It's like a bin of tea, but no, it's a bin of tea. Tea bin. So.
Well, that's true. Our weekly challenge this week, go climb a tree.
Oh,
just do it. Just go climb a tree.
Go climb a tree. All you squirrels out there, you should be able to do this one. Come on.
And any fruit bats could just fly up in the tree, I guess. Who knows?
Who knows
what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Knows.
You don't know that reference, do you? The shadow knows.
No.
This old radio show in the 30s and 40s.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
The shadow knows.
And needs a handkerchief.
It needs a handkerchief.
The shadow knows needs a handkerchief.
The shadow knows needs a handkerchief.
Okay, because it's cold
outside. Well, we've
outside.
got a few minutes before we post the link for 5 Minute First to see if anybody comes in. We're going to start with our past today. And I have to start with, you mentioned a word last week. And I tried to find it. I looked up everything trying to find it. And I think it's a Tabanism. But maybe it's not. And if it's not, you need to tell me. But what is pooprindunk?
Pooprindunk? No, did any fur even write in about it? Is it like
no, not yet.
I think we got to give it another week because some fur's got to find it. It's out there.
Is it really out there? It's not a word you made up? Okay.
Would I say that? Right. No, it's out there. It's just give every fur another week. So, another challenge for you first. Pooprindunk. It's out there.
How do you spell that?
P-O... Well, I'm looking at... You spell it right. P-O-O-P-R-E-N-D-U-N-K. Pooprindunk.
Okay. Well... I put it in Google, and even the Googler doesn't know what it is. So if the Googler doesn't know what it is...
Sometimes the most important things the Google is not aware of.
Huh. Well, I'll be darned. Okay. Well, I'll give it another week, and I will do some more research, and maybe I'll find it between now and next week. Who knows?
Next week, we will get the answer, though, I promise. I'm not going to put it off anymore. I just want to give every for another week.
Okay.
So TikTok, get on it.
Get on to TikTok, yeah. Or Ziggy.
Or Ziggy.
I mean, both
Ziggy
of those are...
They both know.
Are
yeah. And I mean, Ray's our chief fact checker. I mean, he should be able to do this.
I know. I mean, you got to have a fact checker. But then we talked about Jerome, Arizona last week.
Oh yeah,
and
that amazing thing
through,
where you people and stuff.
Right, and I talked about a hamburger place, and I thought it was called Ghost Burgers, but I looked it up and it's actually called Haunted Hamburger. So similar, but it's not Ghost Burgers; it's Haunted Hamburger. So
Haunted Hamburgers, the little treat for the people that want them. I made up that.
Really?
Yeah. So now we're sponsored by Haunted Hamburgers because I just made a jingle for them. So give us money and that'll be great.
Please, anybody give us money. Why not? Let's just give some money to the bear.
Not just anyone. Just give us money.
Just anybody. Just give us money. I mean, we'll take anybody's money, even if it's a nickel. I mean, go through your couch, find some change, put it in an envelope, send it to us. We're good.
We are good.
I have a long but a long fact thing about some universities, but I want to wait until after I post the link for 5 Minute Furs. So before I talk about that, I want to talk about, we're on episode 49 here, and episode 47 caused a lot of fun in the BFFT chat on Telegram. If you're not in the BFFT chat on Telegram, you need to get on the chat because we have a lot of fun there. And you really should join the chat. There's a lot of fun that happens, and there's including videos of past challenges and really bad jokes and interactions with our staff. In fact, episode 47 generated about 20 bad puns.
Just right in a row.
And the weekly challenge about phone apps, no one has beat me yet.
Oh,
I still have
and yours was what? What was yours?
405 apps on my phone.
Oh,
that's a lot of apps.
Has anyone got close? That is a lot of apps.
No.
Oh, okay.
No one's
not even close.
No one's gotten close. The closest is 110, but there's so come on, folks. You got to be. Someone else has to have a lot of apps on their phone like I do. I mean, seriously,
you're
really?
furries. I mean, come on. You don't just have like Telegram and furry amino. I mean, there's other things out there too. So come on.
And then we talked about the AEU.org because I was trying to say the AEIOU.org.
But you said, yeah.
But I said AEU, and you said you have to look that up and find out what it is. Well, that's the American Ethical Union.
That is different than the anthropomorphic, the new corgi events thing, yeah.
Yes. The AEU inspires ethical communities. That's what they say.
Oh.
And then the other thing that you mentioned was Faulty Towers, the Germans episode. And you said baggage. Well, it's bad eggs.
And so baggage. I saw that in the notes, and so I went back and listened to the clip, and like, okay, now I totally hear the bad eggs now. And no, that's so right. And all these years, I've seen it like 50 times or whatever, and every time I hear, I'm not going to hear it anymore, but I've heard baggage. So baggage, but no, now I hear bad eggs.
Right. It's totally different.
I have something actually about that in the same episode, and you can post the link while I'm talking, I guess. But in that same episode, just like a little bit before, it's the same scene. The Major is talking to Mr. Faulty about, I took Winnie Atwell. He was dating her or something. And it's like, Winnie Atwell? Mr. Faulty says, then the Major says, yeah, Winnie Atwell, I took her to see India. India, Major? At the Oval. And so my question is, what is the Oval of India? I have never understood that reference.
At the Oval of India. I'll have to look that up.
And I checked, he does say at the Oval. And apparently Mr. Faulty knows what it is, because after he says that, Mr. Faulty does things like, but I never understood. At the Oval! Like, what is the Oval of India? So, anyway.
Okay. And then you asked me when the last time I watched a Disney movie, and I couldn't think of one, but I did watch Cruella in January, and that's a Disney movie.
Well, there you go. So recently.
There you go.
Yep.
Recently. Yep.
Recently.
And
peanut butter cups.
You asked me if I contacted Uncle Bear Publishing about sand in my fur, and I had not, but I did this week, and they do not publish nonfiction books.
Oh, but that's totally fiction, sand in my fur. Or
they won't
nonfiction, I meant. No, it's totally nonfiction. I don't know.
No, nonfiction means true.
I know, it's totally nonfiction.
Oh, well, yeah. It is, although Papa Bear was like, well, I'm interested in your book, but we don't publish nonfiction. I was like, okay, well.
But I'm interested. So if you ever do get a publisher, I'd like to read it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So any fur out there that wants to publish Burley's illustrated by the Tater, if you know the Tater, she's awesome.
She is awesome.
If you want Burley's original story of Sand in My Fur, illustrated by the Tater, if you want it published, let him know of some good furry publisher so that he can get it published.
It's very Dr. Seuss-ish in nature. It's a rhyming poem, and
it
it's
is
just
in
really
nature,
cute.
actually.
There's a nature. It's naturing. It's nurture or nature?
Nature, pair.
Okay. So last week, we chatted about Oregon State University, OSU, and University of Oregon.
Eugene or Salem? No, you're in Salem. Remind me which one's which.
Well, Eugene is U of O, University of Oregon, and OSU is Corvallis.
Okay.
So those are the two, I guess, I don't know what you would call them, the main universities in Oregon. There's a lot of universities in Oregon, but that's the one that those are the two most people know about. And
right.
Because they're in the Pac-12 and all that kind of stuff. So OSU, the mascot is a beaver, which is really cute. And they're in Corvallis, and the population of Corvallis, which I thought was very strange. I thought it was a lot higher, but it's only 58,000 people in Corvallis. I thought it was a lot bigger.
Does that include the university?
No, that's people that live there. So they probably don't count the university because university students tend to keep their residence at wherever they live. So I'm not sure how that works with the census. I'll have to look that up now. Dang it, Tabin. Why do you make me do research?
That's what I do.
Okay.
I'm a pup.
I know. Anyway, so Corvallis has a population of 58,000, and the total undergraduate enrollment of OSU is 26,644 as of the fall of 2020. That's a lot of students, which is amazing, the amount of students there.
That's more than I'm looking at now, which is none. So that's, I don't, right. Okay, keep going. I don't know even know what I'm talking about.
They're set in the city of Corvallis. The campus size is 422 acres, so it's pretty big.
That's a lot. That's more than Green Acres. It's a place
more
to be,
than Green Acres. Yeah. They utilize a quarter-based academic calendar, and their ranking in the best colleges and national universities is number 162 in the nation.
In the nation?
No, in the
nation.
That's
because there's a lot in the nation.
Now compare that to the quote-unquote big university, which is the University of Oregon, whose mascot is a duck.
A ducky!
And they're in Eugene, which is a population of 168,000. So three times the size of Corvallis.
Wow.
And
I had no idea.
Yeah, and they are in the public institution founded in 1876, and it has a total undergraduate enrollment of only 18,00045. So they have less than OSU. Yeah, even though they are quote unquote a bigger university.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They have a campus size of only 295 acres, so 100 acres less than OSU. But U of O ranks number 99 in the best colleges and universities nationally in the state of the country. So it's kind of funny because the bigger city has the smaller campus and a smaller amount of enrolled students. Now, if I were going to go back to university, I know, right? If I was going to go back to university, I'd probably choose OSU over U of O. But that's just me.
You like beavers better?
No, but I just think that they're a better college. But that's just me.
Okay.
But Tabin, you might be asking yourself, what? Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Oh, wow.
I think somebody's coming on.
Come into the thing.
It's Ski. Hello, Ski.
Hello again.
You tried to come in like last time, and then things happened, and you didn't. And you skied your way back in here. That's amazing.
Yeah, although I think this is the last time I get to ski this season.
It is.
Why is that?
Because it's like sun and stuff, right?
Yeah, the snow's almost gone.
Oh, where's that at?
Minnesota. Well,
really?
Central
it's
Minnesota.
Melted already up there. That's interesting.
The North Shore still has some, but
all right. Do you have mountains up there, or is it like little hills?
There are mountains. You just have to drain the entire Lake Superior to see them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
what
All right.
what do you do after ski season is over? Do you have anything you do?
I usually go chase. I just got done chasing waterfalls this this weekend.
You're one of those.
Chasing waterfalls?
Mhm.
Shouldn't you stick to the rivers and the streams that you're used to?
That's boring.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
That's boring.
Taba, do you even know what that reference is?
Oh
No.
now I do actually. It's it's that
It's a song.
thing. It's a song. Is it Elton John?
No.
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 It's
No.
not Elton- Oh, Britney Spears.
No, but that's a
Nope.
little closer. Kind
A
of.
little closer, yeah.
Keisha.
Further
$3
away.
sign, ha? It's like,
I'm going. How about Michael Jackson?
No.
No. Okay.
with his one glove.
With this one glove, he's chasing that one waterfall with this one glove. Okay, I give up. Who is it?
TLC.
Oh, Tender Loving Collies.
Yes, tender loving collies.
Nice. Very good. So you go
So
out there and you chase them, and do you collar them, and you bring them home and you call them your own once you collar them?
No, I usually get wet.
No. Okay.
Just wet.
Actually,
you climb the waterfalls?
Actually, not really, because the waterfalls around here are super unstable.
Because that's the thing. People where it freezes a lot, people actually go out and climb the waterfalls.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
The waterfall freezes, and they can actually climb it.
Yeah, they
Which
do.
is-
They
Especially
do
when
that
it's really,
on.
really cold outside, because then you've got the right
Like-
climate.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. Come on, Ski. You know this show. You know the show.
I
It's
know.
just full of
I
this
know.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, and it's very unfortunate when the mountains and everything is so unstable, because that means there's no horses around because they're all unstable now.
All right. So, Ski, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Okay. Oh my. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really am.
Let's see.
Oh.
Let's see. I'm a aught that likes water, I guess. So there's that.
That makes sense. That makes
I've
sense.
called in 3 times now, and this is the first time I've actually had a fully stable connection.
Nice.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Yes.
Because
have you
That's right,
called
they're
in 3
still
times? Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the first time was at a Holiday Inn in Kentucky.
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you tried where you are now, and then you got cut off halfway through.
Yeah, I figured that
And now
out. I
you're
figured
here.
that out because my dog got caught on the Wi-Fi router extender.
Oh, that would do it. I know how it is. It happens to me all the time. I am a pup too, so I
yeah,
I
he
can
gets caught on the
identify.
Wi-Fi extender all the time. Yes.
Yeah,
We have to get him off of there, move his
extender
tail
collar, yeah.
around. Yeah.
We just should just clip it to him. Make him. He'll make a pup mesh network.
There you go.
The Pup Mesh.
The
A Pup Mesh Network. I love it.
I can't really say it one time fast.
Pup Mesh. Pup Meshy. So. So what are you doing, Ski? You're not traveling. Clearly, you're home, right?
Nope, I'm home. I'm back at work doing software for a
Nice.
medical device
Oh.
company.
And your
Okay.
kitchen, is it done being remodeled?
Yeah, I finally actually did get it. The cabinets need to get updated, but
There it is.
Look at that. He's showing us all, for people that can't see because it's an audio podcast, he's showing us his kitchen.
And he got
it looks
done.
like a kitchen. And
does.
so
Last time he
I
tried
look-
coming on, I remember he was saying how he was in the process of remodeling his kitchen, and he's got all these pretty lights. He's still got the pretty
Oh,
lights
yeah.
up there. Yeah.
pretty lights. Look at those pretty lights.
Look at oh, now it's purple. Oh,
Uplighting.
and now
and I actually went and did the entryway too.
Ooh,
oh, look at that!
look
You've
at
got all
that.
these pretty colors hanging out there in Montana with the pretty colors.
Minnesota.
No. Minnesota.
He's
what
not
did I
in
say?
Montana, man.
I said
You said
Montana.
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 I meant Minnesota.
Yeah.
I am just a pup. My brain doesn't know how to things.
And the fox
So
still
you're New
doesn't.
Hampshire. That's great. What's New Hampshire like this time of year?
What's New Hampshire like? No, so and you got foxes. Look at those foxes. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
So that still does not have a name.
Okay.
Oh, right. Last time
Apparently,
we
my
talked about
girlfriend
what's
did
the
paint that.
name.
So my mate did. It's a paint by number. My mate did. So that's
Uh-huh.
the follow
Nice.
up on that.
That's a paint by
Nice.
number? No way. That's crazy.
Yes.
You're crazy. That's crazy talk.
That's great.
That's
great.
really
So
good.
is
So they
that
haven't
Howler.
named it yet?
Nope.
Let's
Wow.
call it Tim.
There are some who call me Tim.
Tim the Fox.
Tim the color by number fox.
Tim the Fox.
Well, since he's
Tim Fox.
since he's in the woods right there, it makes sense because he's Timber.
Timber the Fox. There we go.
It's very cold. That's why he's Timber. Oh my
Well, that's interesting. The laptop screen just popped out of the.
That's not good. Well,
That
look
would
at
be a nice little trick to put back together after this.
So, Ski, tell us what's in your future. What's in your future for the next few weeks? Anything fun, exciting, going anywhere?
Cleaning the house. Then let's see, next few weeks, probably having a house guest come out from Ohio. So,
All right.
Ohio. Have we met this?
Nope.
Fur? Is it a fur?
Yeah, it is a fur.
Oh, it is
It's a
fur.
fur.
We just haven't met this fur. Well, that's exciting. I
Well,
wag.
you know.
I approve.
It's just a
Nice,
fur we
nice.
haven't met yet.
It happens. There's a few out
Just
there.
haven't met you yet. No, that's a
Just
Bublé
haven't
song.
met the fur on the floor.
A Michael Bublé song. Or Michael
Maka
Bubble.
Bublé. Who's Maka Bublé? Ski, do you know who Maka Bublé is?
Michael
no, I know
Bublé.
Mark Bublé.
Oh.
Mark.
So who's blah blah
Michael.
Bublé then?
Michael Bublé. I don't know who Marco Bublé is. That's somebody different. That's his
Okay.
younger brother that's not
It's
very
his younger
famous,
brother.
clearly.
No
Yeah.
one really knows about him. He hides a lot. So
So, Ski, we were just talking before you popped on about universities and enrollments of universities, and I was about to say that Tabin, we were talking about University of Oregon and the University OSU and the population, but I was about to ask Tabin if he knows what the largest university in the country is,
wow, the
population-wise, for enrollments.
largest.
Do you happen to know, Ski?
I
know
not,
Ski. He's
but-
right there. How you doing, Ski?
Hi, I'm good. No, I do not.
The answer is that it's the University of Central Florida. They have an enrollment,
Florida.
are you ready, of under 72,000 students.
Wow.
I'm a little surprised it's not
that's-
10,000.
That's an
I know,
amazing
with
amount of
Florida, you would-
students.
That's-
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I went to
Yeah.
a school of 20, or what was it, 17,000?
Oh, where is
Yeah.
that at?
St. Cloud's.
St. Cloud. Is
St.
that
Cloud
like,
State
Cloud.
University Huskies.
There
oh,
you
I
go.
like Huskies. Ooh.
Yeah.
St. Cloud, is that
Now-
Iowa? Where is that?
Minnesota.
Oh, it's not
Minnesota,
It's not New
where he
Hampshire.
lives.
I'm
It's
like all over
no.
the place today. We've
Now, the-
covered almost the entire United States today.
I know, but the numbers we were talking about, Tabin, those are only physical colleges and physical universities.
Oh,
So that have an actual, place where you can sit down in a classroom. Now there are larger universities that are online, but that's comparing apples to oranges because it really is not they don't have a campus. I mean, there's one online university that has over 200,000 undergraduates, but that's not really.
Oh my cow! Is that like in New Hampshire?
No, it's in the internet.
Oh,
It's in the
okay, okay.
interwebs. Yes. So
Okay, got it.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was south,
You south?
well,
southern
it's
New
interwebs.
Hampshire.
So. Yeah, southern New Hampshire. So a tiny college, little tiny college.
Well,
itty bitty.
I mean, it's a tiny teddy bear hamster down there. I don't know.
hmm
So, Ski, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Do you have a fursuit yet?
I actually have 3 technically,
Oh,
one of
wow.
which will never see the light of day again.
The light
Oh,
of gay.
The light of gay?
Nice.
The
The
Light
light
of
of
gay,
day
okay.
or the dark of night. It shall only know the
Ah.
bottom of the tote.
Why is that?
It was my first attempt.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you made it.
I've made all
Nice.
And not
3
so
of my
great.
suits.
Oh, very cool.
And then the other,
Very
the
creative.
next 2, I kind of just wore out.
Okay.
So
Oh,
All right.
So
I'm
they
in
have
the
seen the
middle-
light of gay.
those have seen the light of day. And I have a head for the otter suit base, but it's a little too small, so I have to redo it.
How do you fix the bald spots?
I'm trying to think of how this is a joke, what I could answer to make it a joke.
With Rogaine, that's how you fix the bald spots.
There you go.
Clearly. It's like, yeah. Or with the hair club for furs.
Yeah.
I'm not only the president, I'm a member. So,
I have that is so.
I have
much
the
an
hair
old
club for
commercial.
furs. I hit bunnies because I have a hair club.
But
Anyway.
bunnies
Don't
are
club the
friend, not
hairs.
food.
I
That's right,
know. I
bunnies
don't
are
want to
friend, not
join
food.
the hair club. Come on.
all right. Well, Ski, our 5 minutes are up, so I'm going to let you go.
All right, I'll get
And,
working on
uh,
fixing this laptop.
Okay.
All right,
Well, I'm
thanks
glad
for popping
I
in.
got to work the whole entire time. You made it the whole entire time. Wow.
Yeah.
Yay.
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 All right, good.
All
Well,
right,
we'll see you
we'll see
around.
you
Have
later.
a good night. Ski.
Yep. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bark, bark.
Well, that was cute that Ski popped in. That was very
for the
cute
whole time.
indeed. For the whole time. The whole time.
The whole
The
time.
whole time.
And if you don't have a whole time, that's not very much seasoning in your Parmesan, let me tell you. Half a time. It's
half a
not going to
time.
help. It's like you're just waiting for the one bite. When am I going to have the bite with the half a time on it?
Do you have any past today? We are in the middle of that. And
I
then,
do. I do.
Oh, well, then let's hear your past today.
Okay. So last time, that was season 2, the season, episode 48, you talked about the movie Protégé, and you talked about it. And
yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
What I have to say about that is I have not seen it, but it seems to be good. And that's what I have to say about that. I checked it out. I want to check it in some more. Also, last time, you mentioned that Furry Life Online is gone. There's only, and I checked this out, it's gone. There's only an internal server error 500 screen, I think you mentioned, and it's true, it's gone, with no info about where or why. So
nothing.
I wanted to see if I could find information and bring it to us this week. Well, guess what?
There's no information to bring.
That is 100% what I found. There's nothing. I tried hard. I tried so hard that I found out that I actually did have a Furry Online account.
Oh, okay.
But
so
apparently not anymore. We do not. So I couldn't find out. But there's, I found people talking about it. There could be various reasons. For example, people were saying it's horrible and clunky and whatever, and like, they didn't think it would last. And I know apparently there's reasons, but we can't actually find out why
what those reasons are.
And what those reasons are. So anyway, that's my past today. Not very enlightening, not very exciting, but there it is.
Well, let's move on to our mailbag.
Okay.
And in our mailbag, you posted, mostly this is about our BFFT chat, but because that's the closest we come to a mailbag. You, Tabin, posted a clip of how to pick up a duck.
I did. I loved that clip. That was the most amazing. So go check out my Twitter. I tweeted that, how to pick up a duck. It's like the best thing ever.
It's the best thing ever. However, I was fascinated by the fact that the duck had little duck shoes on.
He did. It was so cute. Oh,
who puts shoes on a duck?
Maybe he just wanted his little webby feetsies not to get hurt. I don't know.
I don't know. I was like, why does he have little shoes on? I don't understand. It was just so weird. It's like, he picks it up. It's like, there's his little shoes. Like, wait a minute. Why is he? And they matched the guy that was picking up the duck. They were the same color shoes that he was wearing.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There we go. So, well, I have some mailbag.
You have some mailbags also, do you?
Yep. And it's actually only has to do with BFFT chat. So in the chat, so I had asked first, like, what math should I talk about? And so Ziggy, so Chitaro had mentioned something about geometry, and I didn't know what to do with that. So Chitaro, if you listen to this, let us know something more specific that you'd like to know about geometry, and I'll talk about it. But that's like a big subject, so I could go many directions. But Ziggy mentioned I should talk about the ancient counting method where you count up to 12 with one hand and up to 60 with both hands. That's a quote. That's what he said. And so I wasn't sure what that meant. So I looked it up, tried to find it. I couldn't find out what he meant. So Ziggy, if you listen to this, write us in and let us know what you meant. Because all I could find was something about how there are 60 bones in your hand or something, and that's where we got 60 minutes and seconds from or something. So anyway, Ziggy, let us know what you meant by that, and then I'll talk more in depth about it.
All right.
So that's the mailbag. But sort of on the note of mail and everything, I have some like news type things that come from that. So I thought I'd put it in this little section.
Ooh. Okay.
It's not a phrase in the news, so I didn't know where else to put it, but mailbag. You go on CNN or whatever news site you're like going on, they have like little headline clips and you read the stories, and they're not long stories, but they just tell you about things that are going on in the world. One is in Italy. There's a new restaurant. It sounds very, very interesting. It's called Peace and Quiet. At this restaurant, the kids' meal start at just $150. And so maybe that's why it's called Peace and Quiet.
Yes.
So then in other parts of the world,
Yes.
Tesla.
Uh-huh.
So Tesla cars, they actually, it turns out, do not have a new car smell. Instead, they really have more like an Elon Musk of some sort.
Oh.
And so elsewhere in the world, so we've done Italy, we've done wherever that is.
California.
We've done California.
Uh-huh.
So in France, do you want to know about what happening in France? You can
What's
just
happening
go
in
to
France?
CNN. You can find this article about how in France, this big, huge, I think it's the biggest one in France, big, huge cheese factory, it blew up. And it's horrible. Debris is everywhere.
No,
no, you're not going to.
Okay.
Oh my. Okay, and so also in Europe. So we've covered all that.
Yes.
Now let's go to Europe. Are you ready to go to Europe? Let's travel to Europe.
We were in Europe already with France and Italy.
We're going back. We're going all over the world right now.
We're all over the world.
So,
all right.
Speaking of traveling in Europe, so there was this flight in Europe, going from I forget where to where, but it was a very nice flight. There's only one passenger on it. The steward was like, it was very cool. The stewardess says to the passengers, like, you're very lucky. I mean, you have the flight all to yourself. You can stretch out across all the street, all the seats and everything. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a very cool thing. And she says, I was reading this story, and apparently this is because all the members of the upcoming psychic convention canceled all at the last minute. And that's my news for the week. That's
your news for the week under media or something. No, mailbag. All right. There we go.
Mailbag. And for any fur that didn't realize that one person on that flight all of a sudden got really scared for his near future. Because there's a reason that all the psychics
canceled.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure we're on the same. Okay, we're done.
I got the joke.
I did it. We
got it.
Okay.
We got the joke, yeah. So,
it was a stretch. I just had to make sure.
It's on brand. I'll have to say it's on brand, but yeah.
Okay.
So let's get to our media section. Let's talk about what we've been watching, reading, eating, sitting. What? No, not eating. That's not media. That'd be foodia. But
unless I'm the one eating it, because then it's media.
media. No. Beans. They're beaning. They're having a bean, not a beef. So I watched a couple of things this week. Actually, I watched a lot of things this last week. Watched a movie called The Exorcism of God.
Oh.
Now, this is a horror flick. It's a good twist on the demon possession genre of movies. It's very well worth a watch. I would give it at least 5 bear wags. At least 5 bear nubs. Yeah, I would give it 5. 5 out of 8.
But that's out of 20?
No.
Aren't bear nubs like
wags
20 because they go fast? And tail wags are 10?
Okay, so I have twice as many. So I would give it 15.
15
bear wags.
Nice.
Yeah.
3/4 of
a full bear.
Something.
Yes.
A full bear.
A full bear. Yeah. It's not a full bear. So nor is it a Colbert, but it's
not a Colbert because we already know he knows about the potato thing. We're totally different.
Right.
Now. Yeah.
Right. I also watched a movie called Old Guard with Charlize Theron.
Who is Charlize Theron?
Who is she? She's an actress.
Who is she? Is she? Do I know about this?
I think you should. I think everybody knows who Charlize Theron is.
I always get issue when I go in the grass in the summertime. Okay.
Anyway, it's a good movie. You should watch it. It's pretty good. Old Guard. And then I watched another Ryan Reynolds film this week.
Oh, you talked about one last week.
We did, the Adam Project. This is called 6 Underground. It's really good. It's an action flick. It's lots of shooting, and it's kind of like Deadpool without Deadpool.
Oh.
But with the Deadpool outside of the costume. Ryan Reynolds, of course. And I watched a show. There's some new animated shows on Netflix. I watched a show called Human Resources. And it's kind of like I watched a couple episodes. I'm like, not so much. It's kind of like Big Mouth meets The Office. If you've ever watched the cartoon Big Mouth, it's kind of like that. And I have good news. The good news is that your microphone's turned off, but it's turned on now. Now it's off. Now it's on. There we go. The wind. Who's sweeping down the streets of the city?
The wind
Everyone knows it's windy.
Strip.
Yeah. So, Agrisuko.
Hamburgers, because Wendy's.
Right.
It's working for you. I'm so excited. I wait for you so hard right now.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
I watched the first 4 episodes, but I have to ask.
Nice.
Is it your opinion that she does the rage singing to get out her anger? This isn't spoilers or anything, because this is like for the very first episode.
That's what the show's about.
Yeah, it's like the first one I was like, oh, that's kind of odd, but now it's every episode. I'm thinking, oh, this is how she deals with the craziness in her life, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think this is like her outlet. Like this is what she does to help exude. Not exude is not the right word, but outlet.
Cope.
Outlet's the right word. It's like not to plug in her blow dryer. She knows that.
Yeah.
But to her coping mechanism helps get it out. And don't you worry, there's more of it to come. So but it's good stuff. Yeah, yep. I'm really glad. So do you like it? Or I mean, it's 4 episodes, so sometimes hard to tell, but do you like it? Don't like it? What are you thinking?
I think it's okay. They're short episodes. I mean, they're just like little bites.
15 minutes.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out the two really high-powered women that walk around.
Oh,
one's an eagle.
Gori and Washimi.
Yeah, one's an eagle and one looks like a.
It's a gorilla. Gori's a gorilla and Washimi's
is that a gorilla?
Eagle,
I thought her face looked like the stones from Easter Island.
Oh,
like, what is that?
Maybe she's a cross between a gorilla and the stones from Easter Island.
Apparently. And I watched episode 14 of season 20 of Family Guy.
Oh my.
And they made fun of 3 HBO shows: Game of Thrones, Succession, and Big Little Lies.
Oh.
And it was hilarious to watch them make fun of these shows. And I have to say, it was the funniest part about it is my friend Brendan was here, and he hasn't seen any of those shows. So he was just like, what are they making fun of? I don't understand why they're making fun of this.
Season 20, episode 14, Family Guy. I'll have to check that out. I definitely haven't seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you have to have watched Game of Thrones, Succession, and Big Little Lies to know what they're making fun of. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay. Good.
If that is all the stuff that I have been watching this last week, it's a lot of stuff. I don't know how I had time to watch all that, but I did.
I also have a lot of stuff.
Okay, what have you been watching, my friend? My fur, my puppy of
course,
mirth?
Fluffington or whatever I'm the
Sir David of Fluffington. Sir David of Fluffington, what have you been watching upon your watching device?
My watching device. Agrisuko, of course, for lunchies. And I finished season 4. That's the last season they have out. And you remember when Ben Diskin. So plug for us, I guess. The voice of Haida and also the voice of Jack from Beastars, but voice of Haida from Agrisuko. We had him as we interviewed him on the show a little bit ago. Lots of fun to talk to. This pup right here got to talk to Jack. I'm still wagging about that. But anyway, so as he said, season 5 there will be a season 5. And I finished season 4 and it's awesome. And I can't wait for season 5. And I went on to find out, I did the Google, when is season 5 released and all that. And there's things you can say, when is season 5 released? So you go there and it's like, oh my Lord. So, and this actually has to kind of semi-do with a rant I have in just a little bit.
Okay.
But so you click on it, it's like, this is what the show's about. It's exciting. Season 4 ended and blah, blah, blah. And all the fans want to know when season 5 is going to be out. And it's not really clear when season 5 is going to be out, but it'll be great. And everyone wants to know, are we going to have the same actors and everything? And everyone wants to know that. And we didn't get any information about that, but I'm sure. So it's like all this, like, they don't know anything about it. Why are you putting out this big, huge 5-page article about something you don't have any idea about? You just wasted 20 minutes where I could be rewatching Out of Zuko. I mean, come on, what are you doing? Anyway, so that's only kind of one half of the rant I have in just a little bit. I've also been watching, we finished season 6 of The Goldbergs. Very, very good, of course, as you know. We started season 5, the new season of Young Sheldon. And we talked about this a few weeks ago. You were talking about how the new season, and I can totally see now. I remember you told me before about how there's obviously been a little bit of time because now young Sheldon is taller and everything.
Oh, very much taller, yeah.
I definitely noticed that. It's like he is clearly as tall as Dr. Sturgis now instead of half the size, and almost as tall as Mima. It's like,
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's so good. He's still annoying as ever, but it's still a great show. We've seen like 3 episodes or something. We watched a movie called Unbroken. It was really good. It was one of those fighter pilots get lost at sea and then things happen and they get kidnapped and things. And I actually don't remember too much about it. I remember I watched it and liked it. So check it out because there's a really great review I just gave of it.
It's great. I didn't watch it. I didn't pay much attention, but it's a great movie. Yeah.
Is it like watch it? It's great, but we don't.
Yeah.
We also we watch. Of course, you have seen, of course, Shrek, right?
Oh yeah, Shrek. Yeah. Did you watch another one?
Yeah. So we rewatched that the other night just because for something. The first one I hadn't watched the first one in so long. It's so good. It's so good. One of the best scenes in the show is the Muffin Man.
Okay, I'll tell you. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Well, she's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
She's married to the Muffin Man.
Have you seen the Muffin Man? It's so good. The one on Drury Lane.
Yes.
It's so good. Anyway, it's such a good movie. And, you know, I don't know if you've seen the second and third one, which are like, I watched a long time ago. Like, well, I'm just a pup, so that would have been like a few years ago. But I watched the second one. And it's okay. The third one, I don't even watch the third one because, but the first one is so.
The Muffin Man scene, is it Farquhar? Is that the name of the sheriff or whatever it is?
Farquhar, yes. Farquhar, yeah.
And that's, John Lithgow voices that character, I believe.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Cameron Diaz does Princess Fiona.
Yes.
And Eddie Murphy does Donkey.
And of course, Mike Myers does Shrek. Mike Myers.
Mike Myers does, yeah. Of course.
How could you forget Mike Myers?
It's so good.
Come on. Yeah.
I don't know. It was all the Muffin Man, I tell you. And then we also watched a movie.
Yes.
No, we didn't watch. This is something I haven't seen, but I saw advertised on Netflix for a show called "quote unquote" Is It Cake? So do you know the Is It Cake meme?
I saw that. Yeah. So I was like,
And had you seen the meme that happened like last year?
No, I haven't seen the meme.
It was a meme. It's a total meme. It was like this big thing where people would post things and on YouTube or just a TikTok or whatever, and is it cake or not? And so so it came from that, I think. And so now it's an actual Netflix series, Is It Cake? So
nice.
So you were saying you were flipping through?
I was flipping through and I saw that and I thought, oh, I should watch that, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I chose to watch Grusuko instead.
Good for you. I approve. Yes, this pup approves.
Yes.
So anyway, I saw that and it's like, okay, I know where they got that from. So that's good. I have two more media things. No, I got two. I got all.
Wow,
these
we've been busy watching stuff.
Yeah. Well, so we're now in the section of things I haven't seen, but kind of want to talk about. Well, no, I have. Actually, I lied.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep talking.
There's a lot of things you haven't seen. I could talk about lots of stuff I haven't seen.
So remember just a little bit ago, I went on a little bit of a rant about something. Now, here's the other half of, it's not really the same thing, but it's kind of in the same vein. So YouTube videos.
Yes.
You go on YouTube videos and like buy these maybe very popular furs out there. I'm not going to name any names, but anyway, you go to look for these on these YouTube channels. And the title of the YouTube video is like very like, I want to watch this. Like, blah, blah. goes to thing and takes off his shirt and look at all the reactions. You'll never believe it. And it's just, it drags you in. You know, it's a clickbait type of thing, right? It drags you in.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not really clickbait though, because they're not advertising anything, but they just want views or something. So you click it and you watch. It's a 15-minute video, and the title and description even makes it look like it's all about this amazing thing that you really want to watch. Mm-hmm. And you go in and you're watching, and you're at 9 minutes, and it said nothing about anything you even care about. It's like, okay, it's got to be any minute. There's 6 minutes left. There's got to be, and you keep watching, and then at the 12-minute mark, it says 5 seconds. They like read the video description title, which only takes 5 seconds. And then like, okay, there's got to be more. Then you keep watching, and he talks about the toast he had for breakfast, and then it's over. And he's like, subscribe to Patreon, hit ding the bell, and say, I'm not going to do that for what you just let me go through for nothing. And this happens. I've seen this numerous times in the past month. Furs out there, stop it. Be true to what you... Oh. Okay, anyway.
Well, that's... Tabin has... He clearly has an axe to grind with these
My videos do not do that. My video descriptions and titles are true. Product reviews. Does it bounce?
Yes.
You know, come on. I do.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. I agree.
Tabin drums to take 5? Or no, the title is Tabin attempts to drum to take 5 by the Dave Drubeck Corbett. It's true. I attempted and I did it. And that's what the whole video was about. I did not lie right there. Anyway,
no, you did not.
Anyway, so I guess that's my clickbait for all you furs out there. Go watch my how I attempt to drum to take 5.
That was... Whew. You seem a little upset. Maybe you should take a break
so now
from
I'll
YouTube.
talk about my last media, which won't... I'll calm down with my last media.
Please calm down.
Okay.
Please. Tail is getting very upset.
Tail is very upset. So this is sort of a furries in the news type thing too, but it belongs more media. It's a game. It's the
game.
World of Furries game. This is world-of-furries.com. This is a
worldofurries.com.
Worldofurries.com. This was released in beta on March 15th, 2022. So not too long ago, really.
Not in VHS, but in beta?
Not VHS, it's in beta. It's way back. It's way back.
Wow, way back to the 1980s.
But it's still been released in March 15th of like, how did they even do that? They must have time travel or something.
I don't know.
So it is, and through your browser, you don't have to download things, a multiplayer web browser-based character-driven RPG for the furry fandom, focused on adventure roleplay and customization. Explore the map and learn secrets of the new world is the description. And
did you play?
I did. I've played a little bit of it. So for any fur, again, it's world-of-furries.com. Their Twitter is @worldfurries. It doesn't seem to work on all browsers. Somewhere out there it says what browsers it works on. If you try and do it on some older ones, it like doesn't come up or anything.
Well, yeah, probably not.
And it's one of those things where you sign in, you get a login name and everything, and so it sends a confirmation email to make sure before you can actually play.
That you're really who you are.
Anything.
So yes. Mm-hmm.
And which is, I understand. But so a note to first, if you do this, you might need to check a folder that you don't expect, not to spam, but it was in I have a Gmail, and it was in my promotions tab. was a confirmation. Okay. And it took a few days. It's like I tweeted at them and said, I haven't got the confirmation email yet. And they're like, check things like the promotion tab. So I did, and it's there. Huh. Anyway, so I went on and I've played just a little bit. It's obviously in beta. They've obviously got some things they're going to add, but it is an RPG type thing. You customize. You can be a dog or a wolf or a rat or a Premier. Apparently, you can eventually be a dragon or something. And you can customize, you can go on adventures. It's not a scrolling thing. Like you click little pause to go to the next like little area. Like I'm standing here in front of the pond, and I want to go to the right of the pond over in that pasture. So you click the little pond, you go. So it's that type of thing. But and then there's obviously some bugs you got to work out, but it looks good. I'm going to keep working on trying it, and I recommend it to furs on the little bit I've played. Go try it out. See what you think. It looks like it might be a kind of fun little furry RPG thing. Anyway, so with all that, that concludes my huge media this week.
Yes, that's great. Well, so the very first time I heard the term RPG was when I had just come out of the military, and to me, an RPG was a rocket-propelled grenade, which is a weapon that we got certified on. So every time I hear RPG,
why do you want to be playing? Don't advertise.
Don't play with those.
Don't
play with those. They're very dangerous. Don't play with those. No.
It's like how, if you remember, Eddie Eagle says he said it before about furries, but now he says about RPGs. Don't touch. Leave the area, tell an adult. It's furries,
exactly.
RPGs, it's all the same thing.
That's right. Hey, you know what we should play?
What should we play, Mr. Barely?
I think we should play a little this or that.
This or that.
Are you ready for this or that? Some questions from my book of 3001. Somebody had to put these together. 3001.
I know, but they had like nothing going on in their life. Let's see.
Right?
I have not a life, so I'm going to sit down in my basement and write 3001. That's or that.
And don't read into these. Don't try and analyze these because
like I always do. Okay, I'll just.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll go straight through. I can do this.
Would you prefer to never sleep again or never talk again?
Okay, I have so many things going through my mind, but I'm not going to analyze like I always do.
Yes.
I am Tabin. I'd have to go with don't sleep because
I am Tabin. Hear me bark. Bark, bark.
Any fur out there knows I have to do the bark. I can't. Yeah.
It got to.
That's a no-brainer.
Oh, well, do you drink coffee at all?
This pup likes some coffee in his little puppy dish. Yeah.
Okay, well, which would you rather give up? Coffee or soda?
Yeah, at the moment, I think I'll say give up soda. Because you can flavor your coffee and do little things with it and stuff and make it fun and goofy.
But you can't, well, you could, but, if I give up coffee, then at least I can have soda in my alcoholic beverages.
Oh. And if you coffee, you can Sierra Mist.
What? Okay.
Because Sierra Mist or coffee, you see.
I see. I don't see that at all. Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather have mirrors or windows for your eyes? I don't know what that means.
I'm going to say windows. I'm going to say windows.
Well, the mirrors, the windows, the eyes are the windows of the soul. So there you go.
Oh.
Okay. Would you rather smell a bad scent for 1 hour or eat a disgusting food for dinner?
Well, I wouldn't smell the bad scent because I just get my nickel instead.
Wait, what?
No.
A bad scent. Oh, a bad scent. Get a nickel. Okay. Wow.
Okay, say it again. Say it again.
Would you rather smell a bad scent for 1 hour or eat a disgusting food for dinner?
My little nosy's pretty sensitive pup, so I'm just going to have to do the dinner and get it over with.
Okay. Would you rather go up or go down?
That's what it says.
That's what it says. Yeah. Go up or go down?
I'll go. You get more exercise going up, but I'll just say I'll go down, I guess.
I prefer going down most of the time. Just in case anybody wants to know. There's geese. Yes. Well, remember, you can't get down off an elephant, but you can get down off a duck. So.
Only if the duck is wearing little shoesies.
Little red shoesies. All right. Last one. No. Would you rather have ice skates for feet or tree trunks for legs?
I'd go with the tree trunks because then I'm strong and I'm very uncoordinated pup, so I would fall down all the time. Like I fall down all the time anyway.
Well, there you go. So I have to say something. Well, after when you were talking about your media, I texted a friend who has a Tesla and I asked him, I said, so when you got your Tesla, did it have a new car smell or did it have just kind of an Elon Musk? And he said it was pleasantly musky.
Well, okay. See, it was a true news story. I was telling you about.
A true news story. Speaking of news, let's get to furries in the news.
News, Mark. Stop there.
Wow, that was quick. That was so quick.
I was like, let's do it.
Oh,
it's gotta happen sometime.
Wow. Who says anything like that? So
next week, you furs, I promise to do my normal, long, drawn out, makes you hate me furries in the news. How's that?
All right. So furries in the news. We have got. Have you heard about the new Sonic controllers for the Xbox?
Are they hedgehogs?
No, but they're furry.
Ooh.
They're covered in red fur and blue fur. Each one is different.
I have not heard. All you furs out there, you go buy this, right? Throw your money. You know the little meme where you like take my money? Do that.
You can't buy it.
What? I take that back. Don't do that.
You can't buy it. You have to enter into a contest. They are giving them away as a contest for the new Sonic 2 Series S Xbox.
Ooh.
So if you go to Xbox on Twitter and repost their announcement, you'll be entered into a drawing for one. There's no word on how many they made that they're going to give away, but I'm sure they're going to they get made more than one. So
probably, yeah.
There's probably a couple.
They're not
going to
get much of a draw if they only do one. It's like, we have one that we're going to give to the million people in the world that want this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. They're adorable little controllers. They're cute.
I should check them out.
They're fuzzy.
Oh.
I've played Xbox. I've played PlayStation. But what's curious to me is with this fur, because it's long fur. I think it's going to gum up the works inside the controller as people are going to get it's going to get caught in the little squiggly things, and it's just
we'll
not going
to keep our eye on this and find out.
Keep an eye on that. See, that's like. But I'm guessing that most people that win it will probably put it aside as a collector's item and not open it. So it'll just probably be sitting on it. Be one of those things. They won't actually play it,
Kind of like a platypus hat.
Yes, I've never worn my platypus hat. It's still in its box.
It's still
in the closet.
It's over there in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was only like 100 made, so if you got one, you want to keep that. So
especially if you get the one that has the duck shoe on it, then that's
the duck shoes. Little red duck. No. So, and let's see the Ursa Major Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Wee hee hee. Sorry about that.
You had a good time all of a sudden.
My grandma
now you're back
used
to the
say,
podcast. So sorry.
Did it go down the wrong pipe? I took a little sip of my drink and it was just kind of like, bleh. So anyway, the Ursa Major Awards, the voting is closed as of this podcast broadcast, as is the nominations for the Good Furry Awards. And by the way, BFFT is a proud sponsor of the Good Furry Awards. Mm-hmm, we are working in hand in paw with Papa Bear, Grubs Grizzly. Let's mix up their names. Why not?
And we, of course, that means Barely and this pup right here. Oh, okay.
Hi, the two of us.
I got confused. Hi.
Hi.
See, remember that falling down thing I talked about? I just did it. I don't know.
I see. So as of yesterday, you can vote for the Good Furry Awards starting April 1st, just yesterday, like I said. And by the way, like I said, BFFT is an honored sponsor of the Good Furry Awards, and I want to point out that you, Tabin, are a nominee for the Good Furry Awards. But just because we're a sponsor, doesn't mean that you can't vote for Tabin, because it's not Tabin. It's not the. How do I say this? It's not the podcast that's nominated. It's you as an individual that are nominated, and the podcast is what sponsors it. Yes. So there's a line drawn in the sand. So you can vote for Tabin. You're not saying anything about the podcast. All right, there we go. So
we did it. We did it.
Wow, I got through that.
It was a journey. It was a journey. So I say bark, journey.
It was a journey, not a. What's another band from that era? I don't know. Who knows? Anyway.
Flock 14? No, I don't know.
Flock of Seagulls? No. So anyway.
And on Furries in the News,
yes.
I was just going to remind us, also along those notes, the Coyotl Awards, COYOTL, is still open for Best Short Story, Best Novella, Best Novel, and Best Anthology. And in the other words category, you can nominate podcasts, and you can go to coyotolawards.com. And voting is open until April 15th, so another few weeks.
Another couple of weeks. Yep. Upcoming events. This weekend, of course, is Woods Flock in Spencer, Tennessee.
Okay, that's right.
At the Fall Creek Falls State Park. If you're there, send us a picture, say hello. And next weekend, April 8th through the 10th, is the Golden State Fur Con in Los Angeles, California.
I hear that's a pretty good one. It's pretty new, but I hear it's done pretty well so far.
Next weekend, the 14th through the 17th of April, is Fur Squared in Brookfield, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Not New Hampshire, but Wisconsin.
Yeah, and not Minnesota or Milwaukee or any of those places.
Montana.
Or Montana or New Hampshire or New England.
Or New Zealand.
Or New Zealand. No, they had one earlier. And then also the 15th through the 18th of April is Fawntastic.
Oh, I had not heard of this one.
Yeah, this is at the Golden Tulip Lyon Euro Expo in Saint-Priest, France.
Lyon Euro Expo, Saint-Priest, France.
France, yes, exactly. That's where it's going to be.
The fromage.
Eat the cheese. Eat the cheese. Eat the cheese. Eat the cheese. And that is upcoming events. That wraps up our Furries in the News section, which takes us to your math issues.
I actually do have some math this week. I know last week I kind of fell down on the fluff. Right. But
you had no math, you had no story, you had nothing last week.
I didn't. I tried. It just didn't. I had some things, but it just didn't work out. Long story short. But I do have something this week.
Okay.
So this week, I want to talk about something called the principle of mathematical induction.
Induction?
Yes.
Okay.
Induct with little shoesies shun.
Induct with little shuns. Yes. Okay. Go for it. Tell us about the induction of math.
So furs in computer science have probably heard about this, and of course other mathy furs have probably heard about this. It's a proving technique that seems magical, but it actually really works. If you want to prove a statement about the positive integers, the natural numbers, this is kind of your go-to way to prove it. So I wanted to describe how it really works. And a lot of furs that have seen this before, even after you've been taught it, you still don't know how it works. It's just like math of magic. Okay, I'll just do this. So I want to first describe how it works and give you an example, and then I'll give you a non-example, actually. So here's what induction is. The idea is you're proving something about the natural number. So you have a base case, usually 1, n equals 1. So you prove something about for just 1, and that's usually pretty easy. Then there's something called the induction hypothesis, and that is you assume what you're trying to prove is true for some number n, and then you use that to prove that is true for the next one, n plus 1. So that's what people are told, and then you see examples and how to do it, but they never really understand how it works. Is this magic? Like, okay, I assume it's true for a number, and then I show it's true for the next number. What does that do? Here's how it works. So you show that it's true for 1, n equals 1. Okay. Then you go to the next one, n equals 2. Basically, you use the fact that you know it's true for 1 to show that it's true for 2 things, say. Okay. Then you're just building things up one at a time. Then you say, okay, now I've got 3 things, or I have n equals 3, something, 3. So then you say, okay, well, I know it's true for 2. You do something to use that as true for 2 to show it's true for 3. Okay, that makes sense. And then you do it for 4, and then for 5. And so you're just building it up one by one to show that it's true for all the positive integers. And of course, you don't go through all the positive integers because that's a lot of them. So the idea with this induction hypothesis is that you've gone up to a certain amount. You've said it is true for 1, so then it's true for 2. So then you show it's true for 3. So maybe you say, okay, now n equals 4. That's my induction hypothesis. I've shown it all the way up to n equals 4, so now that shows true for 5. And then, so the idea is then you've built it up to some point, call it n. This could be 10,000, however long you're awake. You do it until then. And then you use that you've done it for n to show it's true for the next one, for n plus 1. It's a really nice idea, and it's so nice that it actually works and has been a long-standing way to prove things about the positive integers. There's a branch of math called discrete math. If computer science, as I said, has to do with discrete math, so this comes up in that. It proves lots of big, complicated formulas that then people can use and all that. So it's a very well-known, nice thing. So for a very, very simple example, and this is an example you don't need induction to prove. You can just, logic it through and figure it out. But I want to use it as kind of a nice, intuitive example. So I give you a penny. Hey, Barely, I give you a penny. Yay. Let's say it's day 0, I give you a penny. And then every day, every successive day, I double the amount of pennies I gave you on the previous day. You might have seen this, heard of this type of thing. So I give you a penny, you have 1 penny. On day 1, now you have 2 pennies because you double that. Then on day 2, you now double that. So now you have 4 and so on and so forth. And then the claim then is on day n, how many pennies do you have? Well, you have 2 to the n is the claim. And you can reason through that. And that, as I say, that makes sense logically and everything. You don't need induction to prove it, but I want to use it as an example that already makes sense of how induction works. So now if you were going to do an induction proof of this, you would first say, well, first I prove the base case, which says that if it's going to be true on day 1, my claim is I should have 2 to the 1 pennies. Well, that's true because I gave you 1 on day 0, on day 1, now you have 2. So it works out. Okay, so the base case, n equals 1 is true. And then again, the idea in the background is, so now you do day 2, you double that and you can calculate. And so you build it up like I talked about. So then the induction hypothesis then is you've built it up to day n, and you assume that what is true on day n, that you have 2 to the n pennies. You've built that up. Okay, great. And then so you need to show that on the next day, day n plus 1, what are you trying to prove? You're trying to prove that you have 2 to the n plus 1 pennies. If you can use that on day n, you have 2 to the n pennies, to show that on day n plus 1, you have 2 to the n plus 1 pennies, since n is any number, that shows that it's true for all numbers, and you've proven the claim, the theorem, whatever you want to call it. Okay, well, so how does that work? Well, so on day n plus 1, you have the previous day, which is day n, plus how many more pennies do you have? Double them. So that's on day n plus 1, you have 2 times 2 to the n pennies.
Okay.
Which is by algebra, that's 2 to the n plus 1. And that's how many you've claimed you should have. So it works out, right? You use the nth day to prove that the n plus 1th day does what you claim it should. And that's induction. You proved that quote unquote formula for all numbers. It's when you think about how it works, it's not a bad hard concept. It's actually very powerful that you can do this. This can prove things such as the first n plus, if you add up the first n numbers, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2n is n times n plus 1 over 2. It's a formula, but you can prove it by induction. It turns out to be easy algebra with that. That's typically the first kind of proof you see by induction. You can prove this thing called, have you heard of the Towers of Hanoi puzzle?
I have not.
So let me describe it to you. I'm not going to go through the proof or anything. It's actually a really interesting puzzle. So the Towers of Hanoi is, you have 3 pegs, like sticks.
Okay. Sticks.
And on one of the 3 sticks, you have a certain number of discs that just slide on it.
Okay.
7, 5. You have some discs, and they're all of different sizes of decreasing size. So the biggest on this bottom and the smallest on the top. And they all.
So it's like a little cone.
Like a little cone. Exactly.
Okay.
And the goal is to put that stack onto another one of the 3 pegs. A different, you've got 2 pegs left. Put it on one of those. But you have some rules, of course, and there
Mhm.
are 2 rules. Only one disc can be removed and placed on another peg at a time.
Okay.
And no disc can be placed on a peg that is bigger than the one that you're trying to place it on. So you have to put a smaller disc on one that's already there.
Okay.
So
All
what you're
right.
having to do is you're taking these discs and putting them, you have 2 empty, well, not maybe empty, but you have 2 other discs or pegs that you're trying to place these on and like go back and forth and everything. And the goal is to move that stack of the cone onto another thing. It's kind of a fun puzzle just to work out. Now getting to the induction thing. So there's this claim that this,
Yes.
so a natural question is like, what's the minimum number of moves? By the way, this is solvable. You can always do this. And so the question is, what's the minimum number of moves you need to get one stack to another peg? And
Okay.
the claim is, the theorem is, it takes 2 to the n minus 1 moves. Now, you can actually, induction proves this. It's pretty awesome that induction, something that, what I just talked about, pennies and stuff, that technique proves this kind of non-mathy type sounding thing. So it's actually pretty cool to do that. So you first go try that. Just try playing around with it. It's fun just to play with and maybe see if you can use induction to prove this, but it's pretty cool. So induction can prove a lot of cool things. Now, it can go wrong if you're not careful about it, though.
Okay.
So I want to give you an example of such a thing, if you would allow me.
I will allow it.
I'm going to prove to you
Yes.
that all horses are the same color.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
I'm
And this
ready.
is by induction. As I say, there's no trick here. It's induction. This is a proven thing. Computer science is built on other math. Like, this is a thing. It's no trick. It's a real thing, induction.
Okay.
So I'm going to prove by induction that all horses are the same color.
Okay.
So let's state it like this. Let's state it as any group of n is some integer, any group of n horses is the same color. This is what I'm going to prove.
Okay.
So by induction, what do I have to do? I have to prove it for this base case, n equals 1, and then I'll have the induction hypothesis, and and all I have to do is prove the induction hypothesis, and I've done it. Okay, so base case, let's prove that. Any group of n equals 1 horse is the same color. Yeah. Okay. Base case done, proven. Easy. Just like I say, base case is always pretty easy. Okay, so now, in the background, the idea is you build it up 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and all that stuff, and you get to a point where, okay, you've proven that any group of n horses have the same color. So now we have to show that any group of n plus 1 horses also has the same color using that. Okay, so I have a group of n plus 1 horses. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a horse, call him Fred. So I take Fred out of the group. I now have a group of n horses. By the inductive hypothesis, they all have to have the same color, maybe green. Okay. Fred, we don't know his color. Could be green, could be taupe, I don't know. But what I can do is I can take Fred, put him back into the group, and at the same time take out another, call him Vladimir. I take Vladimir out of the group. Now once I've put Fred back in, I again have n horses. By the inductive hypothesis, they have the same color. But Vladimir came out of the group that has that color. So now I have n plus 1 horses that all have the same color. Induction says, I've proved it for every natural number. This means all horses have the same color.
Okay. Well, that's quite the proof-ish thing. Yes.
It's all based on induction, which is a tried and true proof technique. So it's not that there's anything wrong with the proof technique.
Yeah.
But of course you're thinking, well, but wait, I mean, I'm looking at 5 horses right now. And where are you if you're looking at 5 horses? But I'm looking at 5 horses right now and they're not all the same color. So either I'm colorblind or there's something wrong with the proof. And indeed, you're not colorblind. You'll be happy to know, Barely. There is actually something wrong with the proof. The induction's not, that, as I say, it's proof induction's great, but there's some small little detail wrong with it. And this just goes to show that induction is great, but you know, and any proving technique is great, but you have to be careful because sometimes there's, as they say, devils hiding in the woodwork, and you have to be a little careful. So, would you like to know what's wrong with the proof there?
Yes, please. Tell me what's wrong with the proof there.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to let all you furs, Barely, and you furs, think about it, figure it out, and I'll tell you next week what the answer is.
Oh, that's terrible. That's mean. That's rotten. That's terrible. You're such a bad pup.
I am a bad pup, but I thought it'd be fun for furs to think about. It's a nice little thing. And you can,
think about
try, think about the penny thing, how induction works, try out some other induction things and just get used to the induction thing. And maybe you'll figure out what the little problem is there. But it's very, very interesting. But so in summary, I say,
In summary,
induction is a very useful tool that can prove complicated formulas, as I've mentioned before, and these formulas allow us to make complicated computations and very important computations, and it's all not mathemagic, it's the power of math.
The power of math.
So I think next time on math, so that'll be 2 weeks from now because it's next week's story, but next math, I will talk about foundations of mathematics.
The foundations of mathematics.
You will hear it here from me.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks on BFFT, the foundations of mathematics. Tune in, turn on, and drop out. If you've heard of things like set theory and type theory, this pup's going to talk about it in a few weeks. Nice. Well, I have to say, great festering gobs of gopher guts, Tabin. We are at the end of yet another fun-filled, great festering gobs of gopher guts. That's what my father used to say.
Well, your father used to say that?
He did, yes. Yet,
is that how you got the way you are?
I blame my parents 100%. I think I've told you stories about when I was a child, a teenager, just sitting around the dining room table. We sat around, we were dinning, and we would have some fun. But my the middle sister, Eileen, who was on our show with us once, and she and I would spar with puns, and Dad would get into it too. And my mother and my youngest sister would just shake their head and just,
Can we eat dinner now? Come on.
Can we eat? Can you not do this when we're eating dinner? So it's like,
to be a pup in the corner of that room, I tell you.
It was fun. That's how I got the way I am today. But I don't know about you, Tim, but I had a really good time today. I learned a lot. Yeah. I laughed a lot. A reminder to all furs that BFFT is a proud sponsor of the Good Furry Awards. Be sure to go to the site and vote. You can use the link in the show description to get there fast. This show is made possible through listeners like you and your generous financial support through Ko-Fi and Patreon. And, of course, by listening and sharing the show with your friends and your enemies. And also by our new sponsor, Broad Electrolyte Vitamins. Go to broad.co and enter code BFFT during checkout for 25% off your order. And if you forgot about that, go back to the beginning of the show and listen to the ad about that, and you will know all about it.
Sounds like a good thing for furry cons, I guess, right?
I think it's a very good thing for furry cons. And
we're going to all you first check out Broad. Broad, apparently barely you used Broad on a recent episode now, didn't you?
I did use those products. They're great products. So until next time, Tabin,
and you can get 25% off your next order, all you furs, so go check them out.
Yeah, go check them out. Yeah. So until next time, Mubark Fluff and stay furry. Tabin, what have you got to say to all the furs out there as you end this podcast?
So many things, which means that the podcast would not end. So I'm going to not say all those things, and I will say thank you all, you furs, of course, for listening. It means so much to us that you do it. As I say, I mean, it's so true. We hope we entertained you. We hope you learned things. We hope you did stuff that made you happy because of it. I don't know, but it's really great that you did. And so at a con sometime, we'll hug you tight with posies. We'll be doing, this Pupcast stuff at cons. But in any case, thank you so much for listening. It just means so much to us. We do it for you and for us. We have a good time. We hope to entertain. That's what we want to do. So thank you so much. And I guess until next week, I say bark, bark, moo, bark, fluff every fur.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guests, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded and directed by me, Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by myself and our associate editor Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by our music associate Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezerbeak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music by Shane Ivers through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on soundcloud.com, and the YouTube Free Use Library. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFTchat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at ko-fi.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.